Everyone's all upset about the drones, or the skink, or oh no, another top tier squadron vehicle? Who could have seen this coming? But I don't care about all that stuff. Drones aren't very exciting, and I don't care about the British tech tree. But oh boy, do I love my US tanks. I was playing around with my 9.7 lineup the other day when I noticed something. There I was in my Sergeant York, pumping 40mm shells into the side of a BMP-2M, and nothing. What? So I gave it the old once over to see what exactly had just happened. Apparently some new evidence was gathered on the forum that said the Sergeant York never even used AP ammunition. Okay, sure, whatever, it's realistic, keep it real. Don't want fake stuff in my historically accurate game. So now the York has 4 different types of belts. Default SAP HE and HE, HE only, SAP HE only, and HEVT only. This one's the proxy fuse, by the way. Each belt has no variation. It's just the one type of ammunition. And if you want to switch from your silly little SAP HE with 38 pen to the proxy belt, then that'll take you a couple of seconds. Against planes, sure, this is still a pretty good anti-air vehicle. The proxy allows you to not have perfect aim, and they don't have tracers, so it's very sneaky. The proxy shells are also helpful for destroying helicopters. Unfortunately, past about 5 kilometers, the Sergeant York isn't given a lead indicator, so it can still get outranged by some helis. Mostly though, these helis are at a higher battle rating than 9.0? What? So it loses its AP shells, it can't really fight against any other ground vehicles, and it's still at 9.0? I guess balancing SBAA can be difficult. It's not like there's any other vehicles in the game that it can be compared to. These chart things are really stupid, and often seem to be misused. And I think it's silly to take these things seriously. Both the York and the Björk have twin 40mm cannons with proxy fuse and AP belts. This means they're basically the same thing, right? Right? No, clearly these are 2 different tanks. The M48 chassis that the York is built on is slow, but has decent armor. The Björk is built on an STRV 103 chassis, which is pretty fast, and has the power pack in the front. This can stop chemical rounds, but you'll just get overpressured anyway. The York has 2 crew in the front and 1 in the hull, while the Björk has all 3 crew in the turret. Again, the York's turret armor is a little thicker, making it resistant to small caliber MGs, but it's still very weak. The York has 2 belts with 250 shells per belt for a total of 500. The ammo rack is stored under the breech and takes up less space, keeping the chance of ammo detonation low. The Björk has 42 belts with a 10 shell capacity for a total of 420 shells. Because there are so many belts, ammo is stored all over the turret, and this usually leads to the ammunition being detonated. The radar is better on the York as it can see further, but both have a lead indicator and I can't really tell if one is notably worse than the other. Before the new update, I wanted to bring attention to the battle ratings of these 2 vehicles, because it's always seemed really weird to me. Why would the York go from 8.7 to 9.0, but the Veek stays at 8.3? I understand that it's technically worse, but by 2 steps? No way. But where's my credibility? How can I just sit here as a US main and simply compare stat cards and complain about another nation's vehicles? Well, I did some grinding. I worked for months and I gradually grew my subscriber count, and I was finally able to ask for a test drive. We did it. Honestly, I didn't think I would do well on the V. I don't have any other vehicles to use, and I knew that aircraft would take a while to spawn in, so I waited and sat in the corner of the map, and I have to say, this is a perfectly fine SBAA. It's not so exceptionally worse than the York. It absolutely destroys planes thanks to the proxy fuse. It can kind of fight tanks with the AP, and it gets wrecked when something lands a shot. This all happens in the York, but it can't really fight tanks anymore because the SAP HE is so horrible. No way I can kill this fucking leopard. Look at him. Look at him. Any vehicle, free kill, because of my position, but f***ing SAP HE. Worthless. Worthless. The proxy in the York actually seems to be buffed now because it doesn't have any tracers. Players won't do much to dodge unless they have RWR, which only makes it better. So what am I trying to say? Well, I really don't think these vehicles should be separated this much in battle rate. If the Veek moves up, cool. If the York moves down, even better.
I think you can go through the sides of the Puma.
That's a joke. You're joking. Literally a joke. Pure comedy. If you think I can go through the side of a Puma with 38 pen. You're Mr. Comedy Man.
Yeah, that's what I mean, I think.
If you shoot in the ass, you're good. Otherwise, literally impossible. Fact. And there's his ass. Perfect. Thank you, Germany.
Amazing.
Let me know what you guys think about the new Sergeant York, and if you think any battle rating should be changed. Hey guys, so I kind of sat on this footage for a little while, kind of busy, didn't really feel like editing together, that sort of thing, I don't know. But I'm nearing the end of making the video, and the new updates come out, and guess what? The Veek's up at 8.7! We did it! I made that whole video talking about the bad rating change, and they did it, just because they watched it before I even put it up on YouTube. I'm glad they moved it up. Apparently people are salty, but that's because they play War Thunder. So anyway, yeah, I still want to hear what you guys think about this, and anyway, thanks for watching, and as always, bye-bye.